and welcome to Life Happens with Bahati Joyce. We are on another very exciting episode. We have Chef Kitila here with us today, and he's going to share with us his story. So welcome, Chef Kitila. You're very welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
Good. Good to have you.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Chef, do you guys have like a chef name?
Oh, yes, I do have
Oh,
one.
what's your chef name?
They call me Chef Kitkat.
Chef Kitkat. We're going to roll with that. Amazing. So tell us just a little bit about yourself.
I am a full-time highways engineer at Bamaga. I do that for a living, so that's what I graduated for, went to school for. Yeah, I finished in 2017, and right now I'm doing a chefing as a part-time job.
Wow, so you didn't go to school to be a chef, you were actually a trained engineer.
Yeah.
So how did you get into the art of cooking?
I love cooking, I enjoy cooking, and cooking is more like a hobby to me, but at the same time, passion.
Okay.
It's deeper than that to me. It's something that I enjoy doing, something that when I do it, I'm happy, and I just see things that nobody else can see, I guess, when I cook.
Okay,
so,
okay. See things like what?
When people smiling, people enjoying, people.
Wow.
So I make food for people to smile. I make
Right.
food for people to enjoy and relax and have time with each other.
And that gives you that satisfaction.
Yeah. That gives me that satisfaction. Great. Yeah,
amazing. So, okay, going back to now your journey where you began with being a chef, where did that start from? Could you take me back there?
Yeah, I started back in 2017.
Okay.
So when I just graduated from uni, I had a 3 months time before I get back home. So I had to go and train in a restaurant. So I applied for a job in a restaurant.
Okay.
Because before I had friends who really appreciated my food a lot.
Okay.
So they kept pushing me like, when you go back home, please open a restaurant for us. We'll come and eat. And eventually, so I'm like, I can't do that if I don't train somewhere. So I went in a restaurant. I trained. I became a part-time chef.
Wow.
And then when I got back home, then I had a time where I could also. Now I'm like, okay, can I get into this or can I not get into this?
Right.
Because at the same time, remember, I had just graduated.
Yeah, from engineering.
From engineering. So as a Tanzanian, you cannot just tell your parent that I'm just going to...
I want to hear about that. You know, I'm realizing with a lot of the stories that we're telling, a lot of people have had to kind of like sacrifice something or go against the norm to follow their passion and their dreams. How did you do it?
I managed to do that because I actually like both of them.
Okay.
So as an engineer, I loved it since I was a child.
Right.
Because my dad is an engineer.
Wanted to do engineering.
I've always wanted to do an engineer,
okay.
especially for roads.
Okay.
So I can design roads for you apart from that. So this is why when I do food.
You're a whole package.
So when I do food, I actually do food engineering. So I do, So I engineer your food. I cook for you literally. I can make a double-decker burger,
food
it's amazing.
It's a highway. Okay, that's amazing.
So yeah, but I didn't want to lose both of them. So I love cooking, and I enjoy engineering as well.
Wow. So you wanted the best of both worlds.
Yeah, the best.
You know what? I can relate to that. Yeah. I can so relate to that because for me, I was always told that you cannot mix science and arts, and for the longest time, I struggled between the two. And I was asking myself, but where do these two collide? And I realized that they collide in me. So I love that I'm finding someone else who's done this very technical engineering, you know, you're a heavyweight guy, and then you have this passion for being a chef and you've pursued that. So for the sake of some other young people who are watching us, what was that journey like in terms of now your parents, the community, and having the boldness to step out and start now your chef business?
It wasn't that easy, but sometimes you have to get out of the box.
Okay.
So you don't have to confine yourself inside a box. That's really bad. So I took a step. When I came back that 2017, as I said before, it took me a while to go back. Every time, every month, I'm like, okay, because I started the job immediately as a graduate engineer in a company, not working now before. And so I was like, okay, that's full-time job from 5 to 9, from 5 a.m. to 9. So what can I do? What can I do? How can I put my time as a chef and how can I do my time with that? It was a really hard time for me. And with our work, sometimes requires us to go beyond. We travel a lot.
Right,
so
I can imagine.
We travel a lot. We do. And so I was like, how can I do it? When I asked my parents about it, my dad especially, my dad is an engineer, so he does push me this side of this.
Of the engineering.
The engineering side. He's not focused on this side.
On the chefing.
On the chefing side.
How did they take it when you told them that you want to be a chef?
Still, he's 2080. Yeah, he didn't take it as much. So every time I asked for support, he wouldn't let me. He wouldn't give me any support on that.
Right.
He just like black it out.
It's like it doesn't exist. I don't know what this kid is talking about.
So the African parents like,
I can relate.
They might not tell you that we don't want you to do it.
Oh, but they have ways of telling you. They have ways of telling
exactly. So it was the kind of journey. So 2017, 2018, I didn't start it because I also had work. I just kept on the low. I kept working. And then 2019 came. I was like, everybody keeps telling me the same thing. Kitila, we miss your food. We want to eat because it's that thing that they get and I also want to share it to them. So I was like, what can I do then? So I was like, okay, I'm going to try my best and push myself, maybe even to start on a weekend basis or something.
Wow.
Rather than just go Monday to Friday, because that is so difficult for me to do.
Because you have a full-time job.
I have a full-time job.
That's mad. So Monday to Friday, you're a full-time engineer.
Yes.
And so you decided to take this passion and make room for it during the weekends.
Yes.
That's incredible. So we're going to talk a little bit more about now your business when we come back. We're going to go on a break.
Yeah.
And when we come back, you can tell us more about what it is you do in terms of your business. So stay tuned with us. We're here on Life Happens with Bahati Joyce. Welcome back to Life Happens with Bahati Joyce. We have Chef Kitkat here with us today, and he's going to tell us about his entrepreneurship journey, cooking all sorts of food, what he calls a family home-based cooking. So, Chef Kitkat, you were telling us about how you're juggling, both ends of your life in terms of engineering, which is really your career, but also your passion, being a chef. So do you run a business in regards to being a chef, or how does it work?
So when I started, I was like, it's the weekend thing, as I said before, but it turned out to be a good thing. So my vision and my focus is having a bigger restaurant ahead of me.
Wow.
So, but how can I do that? I have to start somewhere. And when I was pushed now to start, and when I started small.
Okay.
So I even started at the backyard of a place where I used to stay.
Wow.
So that's how small I started. I started with 2 benches, with those matenga and nyanya they call. So I couldn't. So
right, the crates.
The crates, those ones. So people just come in and support me while sitting there. So that's how I started and grow it slowly. So my lifetime goal is to have a bigger restaurant.
Okay.
But how can you do that if you don't start it?
Start small. That's very important to say, guys. Start small. Practical examples of you started with crates, using crates as seats at your backyard, and people would come.
People would come,
and they would pay for your food.
They would pay for the food,
Get out of here.
Trust me, that's how I love my friends. My friends are very supportive.
Wow,
to that.
Amazing. That's another thing. Also having a supportive community, because they saw something in you. Amazing. So what is it? What does it look like right now? What is it called? What's your business called, and how does it run?
So my business name is Kitila's Kitchen.
Kitila's Kitchen, love it.
So
awesome.
I put it under my name. As I said before, it's a family home-based stylish food. So I've always had a dream to have a place where I can make people come and relax and feel home. So home, far away from home. So when you come in, you get to feel that you're home. So everything I cook, you get to enjoy the breeze, the cool music, no noises, no big things. So have enjoyed the food, the platters I make, the nyama chomas I make, the burgers I make.
So it's like being at home.
Yeah, it's being at home.
And is it still in your backyard?
It is still in my backyard. So it started a place where I stayed before. I moved out of that place, which I had back. Now I moved to another place. Thank God that I started there. He showed me a bigger place, which is better than the first one.
Nice. So this place is bigger. It's still a backyard, but it's bigger.
Backyard. Yeah, it's bigger.
And how many people would you have maybe show up on the weekend?
I could accommodate even 20 to 30 people.
Wow, amazing.
So that is really, and at the timing right now, as we progressed and progressed, I still was doing a weekend thing, but starting from 2 months ago, we started a full-time So Mondays to Sunday.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
How are you doing that?
I'm doing that because now I created a team.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah.
I need some more tips, guys.
So
This is good. Entrepreneurship 101.
as I worked before, it's like, okay, I cannot do this by myself.
Yeah,
I have to have people behind me who can help me out. And in terms of that, I was like, I need a family-based people. So my siblings came along.
Wow.
So my siblings are very good at it. They used to come and help me out even where I started and where I'm going right now. So they're there with me, beside me, and doing it. And then as I went on, I'm like, okay, how can I teach people my recipe to understand? Because I don't like new recipe. When I make my recipe, I do it so that people get to enjoy the different taste of the food I have.
Right,
Not
and it's
similar.
uniquely yours.
It's uniquely mine.
Well, okay, guys, there's so much to learn here about entrepreneurship. And I say this, I want to emphasize this because I have many young people come to me and, you know, ask these kind of questions. But how do you start? And I say, you can learn through stories like yours. So building the right support system, and then building a team. Yeah. So how did you manage to build this team? How did you manage to convince, you said your family, how?
When I started cooking, I don't push people to come and say do that, but they see me do it. Yeah. They see me do it because I enjoy it. They come and join in together, and they enjoy doing it with me. Amazing. So literally, even when I'm not there, they would sit down and do it for themselves because they know how I love it. So they would join me. The fact that I love it too much is the fact that they come in. The passion. The passion that they see doing it. Right. So they join in. So my siblings invited their friends who later on they got to be interested. So I got to train those friends, and now they're the ones who are assisting to do the chefing. Amazing. And you still do your full-time job, Monday to Friday, engineering, building roads, highways, and your restaurant is now running. It's still running. Amazing. Oh, I love it. You mentioned something very important. You love your recipes because they're uniquely yours. You don't want anyone to taste something that maybe is familiar somewhere else. Yeah. How do you come up with these recipes? I dream. Oh. What? Okay. I watch different shows. Okay. I get inspired to do that. When I watch Food Network, when I watch other TV cooking shows, I get inspired. And when I look at that, I'm like, okay. And when I go to sleep in the morning, I'll literally come with something new. Every day when I cook at home, they're like, I'm just going to sit in the kitchen. And I'm like, give me this. Give me cinnamon. Give me paprika. Give me everything. And when I do that, I'm just going to make something bomb. And I'm like, okay, how is it? Does it taste good? Yeah. Okay, get it to the menu. So that's how I do my recipe. I would wake up the next day and just combine items and make a bomb out of it. And I would taste it and see if it's compatible to go to the menu. Yeah. And then it will go to the menu. If it's not, I'll wait for the right time for it to come. Wow. So ideas usually run out of my head and just boom. And you experiment and try different things. Yes. But you also, it's important to mention here that you position yourself in places where you can get inspired. Exactly. That's important. I do that a lot. I get to learn from different people. Do you have mentors? I do have mentors, but they're not physically with me. Okay. But I like how they do their things. Right. So they have people who you learn from. Yeah, from them, Amazing. Amazing chefs. I love them. So I do look at them and all the time. Your passion is so inspirational. I can't wait to taste your food because... Please, karibu. Oh, it sounds so good already. Now, about the menu, maybe take me through what you currently have in your menu. Okay. I have these beautiful burgers. Beautiful. I call them the dirty burgers. Dirty burgers. They call them the dirty burgers. Okay. Tell me about the dirty burgers. They were my first inspiration to do, actually. I came here and I was like, I'm going to do some amazing burgers, and I did that. So I have my dirty burgers inscribed with some... I can't even explain how many things are in there, but it's a big dirty burger. It's a lot. Okay, without you revealing your secrets, what's different about the dirty burger? It's the love I put inside the dirty burger. Okay, guys. I cook it with love. Okay. What else do you have on your menu? So burgers? Yeah, burgers, dirty hot dogs. Hey, dirty. Yeah. Yes. Vuruga. Vuruga, what's that? Yeah, that's his chicken vurugas. Okay. Is that like a sandwich? It's the mix. It's a mix of veggies, chicken, and chips. Amazing. Yeah, so I do it in my own style with Kitkat sauces. Ooh, you even have Kitkat sauces. Yes. So you've innovated your own sauces. I love the creativity of these. I mean,
all the different stories I'm kind of having the privilege to tell, one of the things that I'm seeing repeated over and over again is creativity, innovation. You've innovated your own style of burgers, your own sauces, and I find it incredible. So I want to know more on your business and then where you would like it to head.
I didn't mention one meal. It's called the aromatic rice. Do you know why it's aromatic rice?
Why?
Because it's a blend of mixtures which gives me that aroma and spiceful thing. So aromatic rice is a mix of mixed veggies with sweetness and Kitkat sauces inside of it. That dish is fantastic.
Wow.
I love it. I love cooking it. I love eating it. I love people when they eat it and they get to enjoy it. Because so far not a single person has ever tasted that food and said it's bad. So I just love it. So the input I have when I make that one, I feel it, so I distribute it to the people who eat it.
And that's your own innovation
It's
as well?
my own innovation.
Wow. Everything on your menu you've created?
Yeah, I've created it.
Amazing. Kitila's Kitchen.
Kitila's Kitchen.
And regarding the business, Kitila's Kitchen, where do you see it heading?
I see it going really far. I usually write down my goals aside, and one of the main goals I have aside is having a bigger Kitila's Kitchen branch. Not only one, actually, even all over Dar es Salaam. So far, in a 10 years period of time, I would say I will have 7 restaurants running. Wow. That's my aim.
Wow.
With a period of 7 years,
Amazing.
10 years, 7 restaurants.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And where have you gotten all your training? You had mentioned something about when you were doing your degree. Was all of that here?
No, it wasn't here.
Okay, it wasn't in Tanzania?
No. I was doing my degree back in the United Kingdoms.
Okay.
That's where I did my degree.
Your engineering degree.
My engineering degree.
And being a chef, where did you get trained?
I wouldn't say I got trained per se, 100% trained, because chef for me, cooking life has been my life. It's a part and parcel of my life. So I've been cooking when I'm at home. I've been cooking when I'm studying as a student, and so I grew into it. That becomes my own personal training. So when I see things on camera, when I see things on TV, I get inspired and go back to the kitchen and do my own kind of thing.
That's so called Kitila's Kitchen.
Yes, the only time when I had to get inspired and go trained is when I said, I cannot do this if I am not under a person, as I said before. I have to work under something so that I know the in and abouts of the business that I'm going to do. So that's when I went to a restaurant. I worked under very good chefs. It was
here in Tanzania?
No, not in Tanzania, back in the UK.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was a French restaurant.
Wow.
Yeah, they had really nice meals and everything. I learned very unique styles there, which they brought me a place where when I came here now, I'm looking forward to be more than them. Because there are things which I got to learn and grow.
So both the engineering and cooking experience was mostly in the UK. Why did you come back?
It's a dream goals. I've always had dreams that I have to come and develop my country, regardless of anywhere I go. So apart from the chefing side, even the engineering part, I went to study there because I need to help people in Tanzania to grow restaurants or even kitchen around in Dar es Salaam or in Tanzania. They just go and pop in and just go. You know, it's that life kind of style we have. For me, it's a difference. So I need people, when they come in there, they feel the presence of a home rather than just a kitchen, a place where they can eat. Okay, so I'm going to bring that out of people. When they come there, relax, eat, talk about their family life, enjoy people, meet people. They can even have actually contact with, they can talk all together at the end of the day. So and that's my main.
That's your goal, to create this society kind of community around your food and connect people through food. That's powerful. What do you think are some of the challenges we're facing here locally in Tanzania now that you had that exposure outside? So you kind of know what people were doing in the UK and then you came back home. What challenges do you think we're facing in our chef or food or cooking industry here?
Number one challenge I would mention is customer service. Oof.
Really? Oh, that's true. That I can testify.
I have been to different restaurants in Tanzania as a whole because I like testing and see what everybody does. And the number one is customer service. That's a big problem, and I would love to change it. I love to see people who I work with treat other people very well, in terms even if they come in, they get that reciprocal, that okay, this is a nice place, you receive people in a good manner.
What's the problem there with the customer service? Because ideally Tanzanians are known to be hospitable people. kuna ule utu.
Utu, yeah.
What exactly is the challenge? Pinpoint that challenge of our customer service.
It's the service and the attitude of people. So when they're employed, they forget that they're employees. They forget that it's the business. When they forget that they need to own that business as their own.
Right.
So whatever happens, if it's a piece of paper is down there, they tend to forget to do it. Or the welcoming part, to welcome a customer. How friendly should they be? The utu side, it is there, but it's that friendliness to welcome people when they come, and the passion. Yeah, exactly.
Because you could be hospitable, but if you do it without passion and sincerity, serving people gets hard.
It is.
If there's no passion, so that's amazing. Any other challenges maybe you can pinpoint that as Tanzanians we need to address in our food industry?
It's time management as well. When you're cooking, a lot of people come to a place and they have challenged that I'm going to order food in a certain period of time. You tell a person that this food is going to be ready in 30 minutes and they probably bring it in an hour.
So it's true. Nyama choma.
Yes, I prefer, I tell you, longer hours, and when I make it short, it's easier for you because you're going to get happier because I'm going to make it in a short time. Right. Rather than tell me I'm going to get it in 2 minutes and comes in 30 minutes. So that's another difficult part.
So we just need to improve on that professionalism, time management, service, and just providing that excellent service. What about the food? How do you feel our food as Tanzania is? Can you take me through
the
that?
food, the home food, it's quite unique, yes, but this is what happens in different restaurants. They have the same style.
Okay, explain that to me.
They have the same style, meaning when you have chipsy zege, you'll find chipsy zege at this restaurant, you'll find the same chipsy zege at that restaurant. So people are not creative. That's another challenge. People are not creative in a restaurant. If I make chips zege, but what can I do so that another person to come here? I have to make a different zege for them to come. Hence, at Kitila, there's Kitkat zege. That's a different kind of zege that I make that nobody else make.
Wow. So you've been intentional about creativity with your food. Take us through kind of like what is traditionally Tanzanian food, and then what is now being served in mainstream restaurants in Tanzania.
The traditional food of Tanzania, I believe it's ugali and beans, pilau, the natural one, makande, those kind of things are more traditional. But nowadays, you have those new dishes. We have the cheese, fettuccine cheese, the burgers, then the new styles in Tanzania. But how can you bring it in the market now that you have to step up the game? And then we have the chipsy mayai. It's common in Tanzania.
Chips mayai, which is like an omelette, fries omelette.
Yes.
Uniquely Tanzanian.
Uniquely Tanzanian. And we have cassavas. Those are uniquely Tanzanians as well. So those kind of dishes are there, but you don't find them nowadays in restaurants. It's very few places you find them cooked.
Do you think that's a problem? Like we don't really find our traditional foods in mainstream restaurants now. You're saying the stiff flour, ugali, pilau, which is like our spiced rice. Do you feel like maybe that's a problem?
It would be a problem because I believe other people are more focused on getting new things. Maybe they've eaten that too much that they just want to try new things.
New things,
Yes, they just want to try new things and stuff like that. So when they keep on doing that, I'm like, okay, I'm getting fed up with that. Not that it's bad, but one thing I know is that when people from outside the country come, they would love to taste.
Exactly. People from outside want to taste our traditional food. And I have a lot of people asking me, what is Tanzanian food? What is it like? Give us an experience of that. So maybe highlight some of the best for the people who are watching from all over the world. What are some of the things they can look forward to in traditional Tanzanian dishes?
Muhogo, cassava.
Take muhogo. You're a cassava guy.
Yeah, if they come down here and they go to places
they should make sure they have cassava.
They should make sure they have cassava.
What else should they make sure they try?
Yeah, they should try cassava. They should try the ugali itself, the proper ugali cooked with mchicha, mlenda at the side. So that one as well. And the next one is makande.
Makande.
Definitely.
What is makande?
Makande, it's a mix of beans and maize all together. Now when it's spiced up with some coconut oil and stuff, it makes it even better.
And what about chapati? I'd say chapati is one of my favorite dishes.
Oh, sure.
I can't
in terms
imagine
of that, the chapati and vitumbua.
Right.
The chapati
Vitumbua is also uniquely Tanzanian.
Yeah.
Chapati I've seen, in Indian cultures and stuff, but we have our own way of making it, the East African way of making chapati. vitumbua though is, what is vitumbua? It's uniquely Tanzania.
It is uniquely Tanzania. It's rice.
Rice
Vitumbua is
cake.
rice.
It's like rice cake.
Yes,
yeah.
it's rice
Fried.
cake. So they put it, they leave it in water for days, for even overnights, and then the next day they mix it some stuff, and then they just fry it up. It's
amazing.
It's just nice. It
and
is.
One of the other things I've realized now, before we go to the more continental food,
Yes.
We also have traditional kind of like street food. So other than the traditional food we eat at home, the home-based, the ugali, chapati, pilau.
Yeah.
Tell me about Tanzanian street food.
I
man.
love street food, and I think all my friends
Let's go
will
there.
know that. I when I go to the street, I eat street food.
Uh-huh.
So I like to taste the street food as much as possible.
Like what?
Especially pweza.
Pweza, which is octopus.
Which is octopus, yeah.
And what do they do with the octopus?
They have their own style of way at Ferry. Where they do it, they boil it and put some oil into it, and then they just steam it up. And then when it comes to the table now on the streets, you just don't want to. You want to test it with the pilipili itself, pepper mixed, homemade pepper. Oof, it's fantastic.
Amazing. I have seen the
skewers.
octopus, the skewers as well.
The street skewers.
They have the chicken and beef skewers.
Yes.
And then they have the other seafood.
Yes.
Could you tell me about what other kind of seafood is sold on the street?
Crabs.
Crab?
Yeah, you find a lot of crabs there. You find a lot of what, ngisi. Ngisi, yeah, you find a lot of ngisi as well.
Calamari.
Calamari. It's more of most of them is not in the street, but nowadays they try to bring it as well in the streets as well. But they cook it different from the restaurant.
The restaurant, okay.
Yeah, so the restaurant is spiced up and everything, but with here it's boiled.
Lobster?
Lobster.
They have lobster on the streets?
They do have lobster nowadays in the streets, especially Gamboni.
Wow, amazing. I'll tell you, I'm kind of scared to try the street food sometimes, only because I have a very sensitive stomach.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Is it safe for someone out there who's wondering if I come, the experience, is it clean, is it safe?
Don't think about it, eat it.
I like that. I'll apply that next time. You have to take me to try some of that street food. Don't think about it, just eat it.
Just eat it.
Yeah. So one of my favorite places that I've gone and enjoyed some of this street food and seafood is Zanzibar, Forodhani. Oh. It's an experience. It truly is.
I've been there.
So what do you think is the role of food in branding us as a nation, as Tanzania? What role does food have to play in our nation?
It brings people together.
Wow.
So if you want to bring people together, you have to make that style and create a unique dish that people will travel all over the country to come to your country and because of that.
Then that is uniquely African, because as Africans, we used to eat when we were younger, we called it kula kifamilia, which means eat as a family. You eat on one huge plate and it creates that oneness.
Exactly.
Amazing. So maybe touch on that in terms of us as Africans, and where do you see some of our traditions as Africans when it comes to food?
Yeah.
Where do you see the importance? And then where do you see the challenge with the modernization? Let me give a very small example.
Yes.
The use of spoons.
Yeah.
Take it away.
I am not a fan of using spoons as much, as you said, because I'm still that traditional home. And when we cook at home, this is my life now. When I cook at home with my siblings and everybody, when we eat, we don't eat like everybody with the plates. We still eat together until today.
Wow. So you guys still do
the sinia. The sinia. We still do until today. And then even when I go to big restaurants, sometimes people are like, why are you not using knife and fork? I'm like, okay, this is chicken. I cannot do that. I have to dig in.
Black people don't eat chicken. With
nobody eats chicken with knife. I dig in with my own hands.
With your hands, yeah.
With my own hands and do it.
Traditionally, do Tanzanians prefer to use utensils, or how do Tanzanians eat?
They eat with hands,
with
traditionally.
Their hands,
everything. Ugali, finyanga, they call him finyange. They eat pilau with hands.
Even the rice?
Even the rice with hands, yeah. They only do that when it's soup. Even with soup, with spoons, no. They take the bowls and then drink it.
And they drink it.
Yeah, and that's how they do it.
Which is traditionally African.
It is.
Do you think that there is a problem with us being westernized and now having to be modernized into, knife and fork, spoon for the soup? What is your mind on that?
I don't think it's bad, but what we need to do is just learn with the technology, just flow with it.
Okay.
We have a new technology and you're going to explore ahead, so what you need to do is just put the old way together and just the new together and combine them together.
Combine the two.
Combine the two.
Do you think we're losing our traditional ways?
No, we're not losing them. It's just that people maybe are more focused on new things. But when you go to different places, trust me, in Dar es Salaam, there are so many places where people enjoy doing the same thing.
Right. They still eat with their hands. So it's just like maybe in the continental, conventional places that people will have to now eat with their knife and fork.
Exactly.
But what you're saying is traditionally at home, in the streets, people still eat with their hands traditionally as we always have as Africans.
Even at my kitchen, an example, Kitila's kitchen, the vuruga one, you cannot eat that with fork. So what they do, people, when they come together with their friends and I put that plate on the table, they always eat it with hands.
Wow.
Always.
Wow.
Nobody eats vuruga with fork
with
at my kitchen.
Fork.
Yes.
Do you think it's important for us to, or how can we protect some of these traditions? Because I'll tell you, there are people who do feel that we're being overly westernized.
Yeah.
You know, so why do I have to go to a restaurant and have to eat with my knife and fork? How do you feel that we can protect some of our traditions and just as much as embrace that there is a different way of doing it and it's okay? But how do we make it okay for some of our traditional practices?
Don't be scared doing it.
Can I get an amen to that?
Don't be scared doing it.
Do not be afraid to do it. Be bold.
Be bold. So if 10 people are having their spoons, you can also go and do it. Just eat it with your hands. Don't be scared.
Wow.
So as long as you get scared and see what people see when you do that, you're going to mess it up.
Right.
So what you do, just sit on the table, just have your food.
Just eat your pilau with your hands and let people deal with their feelings. I love it. I've seen that from West Africans, I have to say. I think as East Africans, we're a lot less bold. We can be bold, but I think West Africans are a lot more bold. And West Africans are very unapologetic about their culture. I mean, they will eat their, fufu with their hands, and so it's really just a call for us to be bold with our traditional foods and how we eat them.
Exactly.
Because it's our way, and that should be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. So now, coming back to Kitila's kitchen.
Yes.
What impact, given the opportunity, what impact do you want to make, and how can we support Kitila's kitchen and what it is you want to do?
Mostly just to get, I want young people to understand that there's life beyond what you do. So as I said before, I am an engineer, but there's life beyond being an engineer. We are too focused on our career stuff and forget that we have talents hidden in us.
Wow.
Okay, so we should stop thinking that. We should go beyond that box we are in. Let us not be confined in a box. When you stay on that, you have the mind of a chicken.
You are speaking my language.
So if you've ever understood why a chicken, you can have, if you put a chicken here and the chicken is used coming in one door, trust me, if you turn that door around, that chicken will still go the same direction. It will never go out of that room. So we have to be dogs. Just go around, sniff it, or rabbits, dig around and see where you have opportunities. So if you're a student, you go to uni, find something which you can do beside what you do, besides studying. You have 24 hours a day. Use it well. Okay, so if you're busy, you just have to find a way to do in the weekend, as I stated before. As I started mine on a weekend, even if I have work, and I was the only chef, you see, so I had to pull it out of that. So people need to understand to think out of the box.
But what about young people who are saying, but I don't have the resources, I don't have the support?
You are the resource.
I don't know. Ooh, okay.
Your idea is the resource.
Y'all heard what Chef Kitkat said. You are the resource. That's so powerful. Elaborate a bit on that.
When you dream, that dream is not going to come into place if you don't take a step.
Wow.
So I'm dreaming of becoming the best cook in the world, but how can I do that if I don't go out and test it and try it?
Right.
But you have to start. I don't have to have a capital to do it.
Right.
Remember, you can pull out your garden, put the tengas together, and just sit there.
Just like you started with a home garden. Just like I
started, yep.
Start with what you have.
Start with what you have. Don't wait for the big capital. It's not going to come.
Wow.
So just go. Just do it. Start.
Kitila, what makes Chef Kitkat?
What makes me is love. I love to love. I love to see people happy. And that's me. So when people smile, I'm happy.
Wow.
So when I cook for people,
Yeah.
I'm happy. I will literally invite 50 people for my own birthday and cook for them and not charge a thing. I just want to see them smile and be happy.
Wow. And you pour that love into your
And
food.
pour that love into the food.
Wow. That's amazing. One thing that you can tell young people, I want you to look at the camera and share one thing that you can with young Tanzanians, young Africans, that could be a take home for them.
Be patient. The road is narrow, but you have to be patient. So sometimes the journey is too long that you are scared that if it's too long that you're going to lose your way inside it. So persevere hard. Your dream is going to work out so hard. Sometimes the capital is small, but just start hard. The challenges, there are going to be thorns on the way. There are going to be a lot of things coming your way, but keep pushing and be patient as much as possible so that you can achieve your dream.
Amazing. You are a total inspiration. I love your drive. I love your passion. I can feel it. And if that's what you're pouring into your food, I cannot wait to see where Kitila's kitchen goes. So I'm coming to try the dirty, you said it's not even dirty, it's dirty burger. Dirty burger. Me, Chef Kitila, I have one request.
Yes.
You can't name like a food after Bahati something.
Come test the vuruga so that life happens.
I like it. I like it. This is Life Happens with Bahati Joyce. It is always an exciting episode. Today, we have learned so much about Tanzanian food, about African food, and the role that food has to play in us as a people, in our culture, in connecting people together. And I've been so inspired by Chef Kitkat, who, by the way, is an engineer, building roads and highways, cooking it and blowing people's taste buds away, and he's doing all of this somehow. But all that we have learned today is you just have to take life head on and make it happen. So stay tuned with us. This is Life Happens with Bahati Joyce. We bring you the best of Africa.